Hi everyone, welcome back to Esthetician Edited. I'm Samantha.
And I'm Anastasia.
And today we have Christina and Vivian from Skin Fitness. I actually went to visit Christina at Skin Fitness like 2 days ago, and she did the nano-infusion with topical fillers on our show director, Danny, and it was awesome. So we're just gonna ask her questions more specifically about her brand philosophy, and get to know all of the education behind it. Vivian is actually the educator for the brand, so she's going to dive a little bit deeper on that. So if you don't mind, just kind of sharing your journey in creating Skin Fitness. Like, how did Skin Fitness come to be?
So I started about 27 years ago, and my journey, I started as an esthetician in 1991. I worked with a physician who was the first doctor to bring in the CO2 laser into the US. And so what we did is we were researching, trying to develop treatment protocols to heal the skin after laser, the deep chemical peels, phenols, TCAs and such. So that led me on the journey to really researching the most therapeutic type treatments and ingredients that will really affect change in the skin. In doing so, I worked with chemists, and a lot of chemists know chemicals, to bind ingredients together, make it look and feel good, smell good. And my passion's really been more for a natural approach. So that just led me to years of, almost 27 years now, to really researching the best ingredients, advanced technology, science-based ingredients to really make effective change in the skin. So in a clean formula, that's really my concept. Skin Fitness is about taking a nutritional approach to really making change in the skin and then maintaining it.
And how did you join Skin Fitness, Vivian? Like, what's your story with Skin Fitness?
So Christina and I met, how long ago was it? I've lost track.
Gosh, probably 7 years ago.
Yeah, probably 7 years ago. I fell in love with the brand. The school that I went to for esthetician school used Skin Fitness as one of their brands. And I really fell in love with the brand, and I'm a very curious person. So I decided to stop by Skin Fitness and demand to speak to the owner and formulator.
I demand.
Always with questions. Yes, always with questions.
Well, listen,
Yeah,
this
which
is
is
why
great.
I'm a good educator
Great.
also, because I
Amazing.
can put myself in the student's shoes
Right.
where you really want all the information, you want to have the knowledge, you want to understand why things work the way they do. And I really loved her product. We had such an array of different products, and Skin Fitness to me was the best product. I went to Skin Fitness, I spoke to Christina, and we hit it off right then and there, and we've been collaborating together ever since.
And how long have you been an educator for?
For Skin Fitness, probably
Maybe 3 years.
maybe 3 years.
And before Skin Fitness?
Before Skin Fitness, I was an educator for Nano Glow Academy. I was teaching microneedling and please don't judge BB Glow. If you guys remember BB Glow back in the
do,
day.
yes.
Yes, I would never now. No shade to anybody, but I feel like I know differently now. So I was an educator for BB Glow with microneedling and with nano-needling. And that's how I started, but I kept educating myself as well. And joining Christina's philosophy at a holistic approach, which is Skin Fitness, right? So we're using technology, we're using cutting edge technology, but we are also utilizing the body's response to heal itself and promote that collagen, both with the nano-infusion and the microneedling. So I think it's the perfect blend of both worlds, and we can get the best results.
I love it. Okay, so Skin Fitness Therapy, it takes a unique approach by comparing skincare to circuit training, right? So it's in the name Skin Fitness. So what inspired this philosophy, and how does it differ from traditional skincare?
I'm taking an approach and knowing, the way the skin functions. It's the largest organ of the body. A nutritional approach, and the circuit therapy is, when you're working out the body, you're working out the same muscle group, it finally will plateau and you don't see the same results anymore. So in designing these treatments through circuit therapy, we're always energizing the skin with different nutrients, but attacking the same principle, whether it's for anti-aging, clarifying, pigmentation, we do it with different types of therapy that are going to make change. And it's always introducing something new so that you get that immediate response.
Mm-hmm.
So more like a workout system for the skin.
Yeah. I personally, like, that was probably what stood out to me the most when I came to see you on Wednesday, just because as an esthetician, you want someone to like invest in skincare and invest in
Right.
coming to see you, right? Not just maybe once a month, but I like how the nano-infusion requires to come once a week. So I thought that that was great. My gears were already turning when I was leaving. I was like, oh, this is such a good treatment to add to my menu, because I feel like if you're an esthetician that's struggling with like having clients come back, this is also a good way, because you can teach them why,
Right.
the why behind it and why it's important. Can you go a little bit deeper into the why it's important to be consistent?
You know, it's like I always take it back to like working out the body. You know, you in order to make change in the body, you have to show up. Show up for your workout, show up to change your routine, have lifestyle changes. You know, the same concept happens with skincare. Show up for your skin, make the changes that you need. A lot of times people wait till you develop the wrinkle, you know, develop the breakouts, develop the pigmentation before you start treating it. And what we really try to do is teach them, this is a nutrition-based program, you know, whether you're just starting out in a skincare routine, but, you know, it's so essential to have a basic skincare routine to really maintain it and not wait till, you know, in your 40s, 50s until you start, you know, to decide to do it. So it's like, you know, your daily nutrition, you know, show up for your skin and make sure you're taking care of it and doing essential steps that are going to make a huge difference in your skin when you're in your 20s and your 30s. If you compare yourself to someone, well, let's say, for example, with me, I'm 55. I've never done Botox, no injectables, but I really do hold that to always taking care of my skin since I was like 19, knowing how important it was for the nutrition, also working the body out, eating right, you know, mentally, stress, all those have a factor in it. And that's kind of the approach I try to do in every product I develop is pure nutrition for the skin. How's it going to change? We need vitamins. We need vitamin C, vitamin A, oxygen, essential fatty acids. Those all, like Vivian was saying, makes a change at the cell receptor site to really give you dramatic results, but naturally, and to maintain it.
That's actually what I was just going to ask is like, because you talk about nutrients, like what are the essential nutrients that you feel like everyone needs in their skincare routine?
Yeah, so essential nutrients, you know, we want to protect the degeneration of the cells with antioxidants. So, you know, vitamin C, vitamin A, oxygen, I think is so essential. You know, we lack it in the cells, whether it's through diet, stress. So just oxygenating the cells makes everything else function so much more. And you're able to receive all the other nutrients more. So everything is a balance. And that's basically the type of approach that, you know, we're bringing to people as a nutrition program for the skin. And then there's various treatments, like I said, for anti-aging. We have maybe different peels that will target anti-aging, but again, we're introducing new routines so that skin doesn't condition itself to just one treatment. We're always energizing it.
Love it.
So based off everything that you just said, what are some must-have skin fitness products that you would recommend to estheticians?
Definitely the Pure Oxygen Serum. It's a go-to treatment that, you know, once you're on it, you can't come off of it.
And why?
It just, you know, I have customers that describe it, and it really is. It's an instant workout for the skin. The skin looks sluggish in the morning. It wakes it up, you know, prepares it for everything else you're putting on, gives you that nice tone. It promotes circulation. So I would say that one, our Vital C Serum, again, because it's an antioxidant. It boosts collagen. So you don't want to just wait till the collagen starts to break down. You want to, you know, secure it. Our hyaluronic is super popular. 50% hyaluronic. It really plumps up, hydrates. The newest one is the BioLift, which leaves the skin like glass.
Okay.
That's
That
the
has
one that
two of our
Danny,
topical
is that the one that
Danny
you
did?
gave Danny?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's like,
Yeah.
oh my God, that's
It's
the best
amazing.
product.
Danny
It's
came yesterday and I
amazing.
was like, whoa, what did you get done?
She's
Yeah.
pointing
She
at
loves
me
that
because
one
I'm
too.
always
Yeah.
obsessed with it. And
I have never seen
really
Danny's
love,
face look this good.
I love all the products, and I hate to like pick one, but that literally I cannot live without. You walk out looking like a glazed donut in the most perfect way.
Yeah, see, that's what, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I was saying. Like the glass skin facial
Yes.
is such a popular facial these days. And I've always kind of wondered, like, what are people doing to achieve that? And when I saw Danny, I was like, oh, this is like a treatment where you can totally sell it as like a glass skin.
Yeah,
100%. We have a
Mhm.
beautiful protocol for dermaplaning,
Mm-hmm.
and you finish it off with the BioLift. And it looks exactly like those reels you see on Instagram with the glass skin. That's
Mhm.
exactly what it looks like.
And results wise, how many days after getting it do you have like that glassy glow skin?
Well, you should also purchase it for retail. So
Uh-huh.
your esthetician should be selling that to support the treatment at home, because
yeah,
that's
whatever.
also a
right.
big part
Mhm.
of the skin fitness philosophy and the way we teach our classes. Is what we do in the treatment room is only part, right? It's a
Right. Mhm.
partnership between the esthetician and the client.
Mhm.
And this is also very important when the education comes in. And you mentioned that before,
Mm-hmm.
as an esthetician, you want that repeat business. You want to build a relationship. It's not about a one facial and done, right?
Yeah.
It's about a
Mhm.
journey, building a relationship. So as long as you keep using the correct at-home skincare routine, the results should always be there.
Mhm.
If I'm like an esthetician and I want to work with skin fitness, is there like specific protocols that, like, for example, if I have an acne client where I know for like the next few months I can alternate these sort of treatments? Because I was looking at your website and I noticed you do like the skin fitness boot camp and you alternate
Yes.
between like treatments and peels and stuff like that. So I'm assuming there's like a specific science behind that.
Yeah,
or
definitely.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for example, well, and this comes with the education.
Mhm.
We're teaching you, how the different ingredients work and affect the skin, the client's skin type. But let's say for acne, we're going to detox them with cranberry first. Cranberry, which a lot of people don't know, has a natural source of benzoyl peroxide. So it's not synthetically derived. It's going to clarify the skin and get rid of bacteria initially, clean it up, and then go into knowing the client's skin, and their allergies. We go right into salicylic or pumpkin, which is loaded with vitamin A to unplug blemishes. So you have to know your client, and then based on that, we teach you how to put them on the right series
Mhm.
of treatments to get the most effective result.
Okay.
We do product knowledge classes for our estheticians, where we teach them all of the products, how to cycle
Mm-hmm.
the treatments for the boot camp routines, all of the ingredients depending on each skin type, acne, pigmentation, anti-aging, all of this. So when you're part of the skin fitness family, it comes with a lot of education. And I think that's extremely important. And one of the reasons me as an esthetician fell in love with the brand, because you really feel like you're supported.
Mm-hmm. I love it. I keep saying I love it. No, I really like the philosophy because you think about it like in terms of like going to the gym, like you want your trainer to have like a specific workout planned for you already, and you want it to be intentional and like targeted towards like solutions and stuff. So
Right.
you really want, like, when you have a client that comes in, obviously you want to ask them like what their skincare goals are and then create a customized plan for them. So I like the whole skin fitness bootcamp philosophy where they feel like they're signing up with
Right.
you and they're gonna like experience change, and every treatment's gonna be different and keep them on their
Right.
feet and have them achieve the results they want. So I think
Yeah,
that's
and
cool.
it is based on the client and their condition, if
Mhm.
they're on medication. It's not just a product system that you're going to use on everyone, but we can gear it. Let's say someone's sensitive if they're on medication, but you still want to give them a rapid exfoliation with the peel. You can put a little bit of the oxygen underneath the peel, because that ozone, our oxygen has ozone fused into it. Whatever you put on over it immediately is taken into the skin. So now you're able to treat the person who's sensitive with a more, we say, progressive aggressive approach, but giving them a little bit of a barrier
Mhm.
to help them because they're a little more sensitive. So that all comes in with the product knowledge, and the different courses that we have.
So speaking on that, you guys are going to be able to come and see Skin Fitness at ICS Philadelphia on May 4th and 5th. And Skin Fitness will be having 2 workshops, one on Sunday and one on Monday, taught by Vivian over here. So I'm going to go ahead and let Vivian talk a little bit more about what it is that she's going to be speaking on.
Yeah, I'm super excited to come to Philly. I've never been, and the show is amazing. We've done it in years past, and the workshops are really popular. A lot of estheticians are really looking for education and also something to set them aside from the rest. The beauty of the class that we're teaching, which is the nano infusion with topical fillers, is that number one, it's completely safe to do on anybody. There's barely anybody that would be disqualified from receiving that treatment. So that in itself is amazing because you don't want to turn anybody away from your spa. Number two is it is within the scope of practice of any licensed esthetician or cosmetologist in the United States. So that gives us a lot of leeway as to what we can do. And when we're talking about nano infusion with topical fillers, we are basically giving our client results like you would have injectables. So, full disclosure, I used to be Botox queen. Loved Botox, got fillers, did all of that. I'm in my late 40s and I haven't had a drop of Botox or fillers in over 3 years.
Oh, wow.
And I've been able to keep the same results with topical fillers and mostly nano infusion. You can also microneedle it, but I've done nano infusion mostly on myself. And this is the workshop that I'm teaching in Philly. How to achieve Botox and filler results without any needles, with any esthetician's license, with no downtime, with absolutely no side effects, and get the best results ever for your clients. And you know what else is amazing about the nano infusion with the topical fillers is that you see instant results. So as estheticians, it takes time for your clients to see the results, right?
Yeah.
It's not an instant gratification practice. And people these days are used to seeing instant results online. When you go get Botox, when you go get fillers, it's almost instant, right? With the nano infusion and the topical fillers, the results are immediate. So it is probably my best seller at my private practice. So I educate for skin fitness, but I also have a private practice in Cooper City and one in Guatemala City, which is where I'm from. And it is my number one treatment.
Oh, wow.
And not only do you see the instant results, you also see the cumulative results, right? With time, it gets better because we are not only plumping the skin on the spot, but we're also using the topical fillers, which have ingredients that will stimulate the collagen production and the elastin production within the skin. So you're doing both. You're instantly plumping and you're stimulating your own collagen as well. So in this seminar, I'm going to teach estheticians how to achieve these results in their clinic. The treatment takes 1 hour. There's no numbing, there's no needle, and there's no downtime.
Wow.
So I'm very excited to teach this, and people have really great results.
Yeah. And usually, just to talk about like money wise, how much is a treatment? And if you guys do offer education, how much usually is one class?
So personally, I charge $220 per topical filler or any nano infusion protocol. We do different ones. We have ones for brightening, different ones for acne or oil control. I charge the same, $220 per treatment. And then the classes, we have different options.
Yeah, so now we're offering online courses where they can take it at their own time. I think they have like 6 months to take the course. And those are usually $199 that we're offering right now. We do also do in-person courses, which are $499 right now. And then via Zoom, they could join for $299. So, and it's worth it, full day. You have Vivian.
So just, you get a little sneak peek, coming to their class for free.
That's true.
So don't miss out on that. You know what I mean? All you have to do is just purchase your ticket and you get access to not only their education, but also, all the other exhibitors that are going to be there. So take advantage.
Yes,
on that.
for sure. I really like, because I do microneedling a lot, and I always I notice people will book a week after, because that's when they kind of see their skin feels different, and it starts to, because it's true what you say, people want those instant results. But I'm really considering having this treatment in my suite because people don't want to be red, you know,
Right.
and you leave red and that isn't instant results. They know it's working because sometimes people, like when they see themselves peeling or they see themselves red, they're like, oh, it's working, you know, like, or they feel the burn, you know?
You have half and half.
Yeah. But what would you say is like the key differences between nano infusion and microneedling, like benefit wise?
So with nano infusion, we're not piercing the skin, right? We're using our Skin Fitness nano pen that has a cartridge that has stainless steel or it has silicone medical grade pyramids that are going to gently nudge in between the skin cells. And we're going to be infusing the topical fillers that are going to penetrate deep into the layers of the dermis and stimulate that collagen, as well as plumping on the spot. So we're using the product to stimulate the collagen production.
Okay.
With microneedling, we're doing both. We are using the product, the same products to stimulate the collagen production, but we're also creating that micro injury that is going to give your body the signal to activate the fibroblasts and start the collagen and the elastin production. So we're doing the same thing with different methodology. One is more invasive than the other one. One being microneedling might not be under everybody's scope of practice. And also there's limitations as far as who can receive it as a client, right? If you are pregnant, if you are lactating, if you have rosacea, if you have a compromised skin barrier, if you have a tendency to keloid, a high Fitzpatrick, there's so many factors. If you live in Florida and you're out on the beach every day, so many factors that can eliminate you as a candidate for microneedling. With nano infusion, you don't have any of that.
So this is like a great alternative.
It is an amazing alternative. And
but still getting the results just more frequently than microneedling.
Exactly. And I can honestly tell you from personal experience doing it on myself, I have very reactive skin.
Me too.
I
break
do
out
too.
into
I
hives.
do too.
I get very reactive skin with pigmentation. That's my issue. I pigment over everything. And even when I do proper care for microneedling, sometimes I pigment from microneedling. So I mostly do nano infusion on myself, and I can attest that I get the same results as I got when I used to just microneedle.
Okay, so you can use the topical filler to microneedle if you want to. What is like the ingredients that create that filler effect, that plumping effect?
She explained it really well.
I'm like,
No,
I was
she
going to
does.
let
She
the creator
well,
explain
we
it.
do. Yeah, I'll let her go into detail as well. But there's 4 different fillers. One of them is an acylated hyaluronic, so it's a smaller molecular structure of hyaluronic that penetrates deep. It's an ultra filler. It works within 1 to 6 hours to give you that fill effect. The other ingredient is retinsin, which is it redensifies and it works on the adipose cells, the fat cell.
Okay.
So as it enlarges it and expands, it fills in the line and wrinkle. The other 2 are more the neodermals, the bioavailable energy that helps to really stimulate the fibroblasts to produce collagen and makes the environment right for the cells to produce more collagen and elasticity. So that's the second one, the Titanol. They're precursors to stimulating the fibroblasts. All of that combined gives you the filler-like effect. It gives the boost in collagen. It pairs well with the microneedling or the nano infusion because the whole goal is to boost the collagen. So that's what gives you that filler-like effect.
What I love the most is that we are basically attacking every aspect and every layer of skin. Because with the topical fillers, we have the acetylated hyaluronic acid, but we also have the regular hyaluronic acid. So they work on different layers from the epidermis to the dermis. And then we have redensin that comes in with this natural extract called Commiphora mucal extract that binds to the fat cells in the subcutaneous layer and plumps them up. Just like hyaluronic acid binds to the water and inflates, this extract does that to fat. and inflates.
And it's like a permanent thing that it does? Like, you know how collagen, you're producing collagen, or is it something that can, if you stopped doing the treatments, would it disappear?
So it's both, I think.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
It does it
Yeah.
instantly, but it also stimulates. And of
Oh.
course,
Right. So
just
it's a
like
cumulative effect, but you definitely want to keep on, let's say, like the home care and the treatments as well to
Mhm.
keep up the effects.
Okay.
I don't remember if you guys had said this or not, but can this be done on all types of skin?
the
Or
nano
the
infusion,
nano-infusion
yes,
type.
I've done it on pregnant, lactating, compromised barrier, rosacea, incredibly safe to do on rosacea, which a lot of people can't get chemical peels or
Right.
microneedling done because of that. But with this, they can get a really targeted treatment without any negative side effects.
Okay. Well,
I had one more question. Just because, I mean, your products are natural, right? What is your definition of natural and clean? Because I know people out there are like,
Yeah, so natural and clean is, free of sodium lauryl sulfate, parabens, fillers,
mhm,
the fillers that are synthetic. So the formulas that I have are very active, potent treatments without the fillers, without the harsh preservatives. I use jasmine alcohol a lot to preserve neem oil is
Mhm.
another good one. Citrus is another good one. But the formulas are very active and you get immediate results because it doesn't have all the fillers in it.
mhm.
So that's really what makes it natural. Now, even in formulating natural ingredients, even in the natural, there's good and bad.
Yeah.
So it's really researching and sourcing out the pure ingredients that don't have the parabens in it as well.
Mhm.
So it's a process. But the sodium lauryl sulfate, the glycols, the parabens, they're completely free of.
Yeah, I had there's a woman that I took a class with. She's probably going to be watching this because she was like, "Oh my God, I've been looking into skin fitness. Like, can you tell
Good.
me what you think of them?" And I'm like, "We're doing a podcast," but she's all into natural.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask that question for her, like because she's like, "Is that really natural? Like, what is natural?"
Right. Right.
I know like every company has like their own definition of natural. Right.
Right. I mean, you can
Yeah.
say products are natural, but it really is in the formula, the fillers that are used. There's a lot that goes into binding ingredients together,
Mhm.
which is synthetic.
Of course.
Even natural fragrances. I really don't use fragrances in the product. So a lot of that you really smell the pure collagen, the ozone, because I want it to be effective.
Yeah, of course.
You don't want them to react with the synthetic fragrances.
Mm-hmm. So, like, I'm personally scared to get Botox and filler because I always have like a histamine reaction to things. Like, I'm very reactive and sensitive. My mom's actually a nurse practitioner. She's like, "Why don't you just get it?" And I'm like, no, because I feel like I'd be that 1% that something
Right.
happens to. But like, what education could you give to people to kind of have this as an alternative rather than Botox or filler? Like, what is the bad? Can you talk about that? The bad within Botox and filler?
Well, people are starting to promote Botox at a very young age.
Mhm.
And why do you think that is? Because when you've been on the Botox for so long, you really can't stop it. What happens to the muscles when you keep paralyzing them? They atrophy. So if you want to continue to keep getting Botox, I mean, in the long term, do we know the effects that the botulism has on the body? We really don't know. So my philosophy is to, and this is why I try to develop really, potent treatments that are going to make a change so that you don't have to go that route. Because like I said, you're going to have to keep getting the Botox. You're not going to be able, if you were to, well, in your case, I mean, you haven't had the Botox, but you're also using natural topical fillers
correct.
in place of it. But if someone were to stop it completely, you're going to see a different change in their skin. I've seen it already in people that have stopped. So it's, again, the muscles atrophies, and we don't know the long-term effects of how that affects the body.
Yeah.
I was doing both. I was getting Botox, I was getting fillers, but I was also microneedling and nano-infusing myself. So when I stopped the Botox and the filler, there wasn't like a significant decline, let's say, in my skin because I had already been prepping it. I don't think there's anything necessarily bad with either. I'm an equal opportunist, and I have a lot of clients who do the same. They get their Botox, they get their fillers, and they come to me as well for topical fillers. And what I find is that it extends the time in between visits, as to where before they were getting topical fillers, they would have to get injected every 3-4 months, and now it's every 6 to 8 months.
Mm-hmm.
Some only get injections now once a year because they're able to extend it naturally with the treatments and also with the at-home care routine. So that to me has value for people that do it, for people that don't do it, for people that did it before. So I think it's great for everybody. There's also another thing is with the fillers, you know, originally people were told that it's hyaluronic acid, your body absorbs it.
Mm-hmm.
But now we know that that is not true. It is a very small percentage that your body absorbs. All these plastic surgeons have been coming out saying that when they open up these women to do facelifts, they see all of these fillers that have migrated. So
Right.
they don't really get absorbed, they just move.
Mm-hmm.
So that is one of the things also that prompted me to say, let me just try the natural route as an experiment. And I was very honest with my students and with my clients in saying, I'm not saying that I'll never do it again. I just want to see what happens.
Yeah.
And then the first year came and went, and I was like, okay, I don't need it. And then the second year came and went. And I don't like to say never,
Mm-hmm.
but it's been a while. So
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that's very realistic. And like I will pick certain things that are clean and natural, but then I'll do other things that
Right,
aren't, you
right.
know? So it's just kind of like figuring out what works for you.
correct.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you.
So thank you so much, ladies. We're
Thank you.
really happy to have you here. And don't forget to come and see Skin Fitness. You can find them at ICS Philly at booth 901 on May 4th and 5th. We'll see you there. Bye.
Bye.